Alrighty, here we go. We are recording in progress. Happy Saturday, everybody. It's been kind of a weird breaking week, and I am just not ready. We'll find out what happens, what comes up. Let me get my phone here, and let's go. All right, I have to get to the right thing on here. Oh, all right. So this came, today is the 13th. So there have been a lot of releases, a lot of things says to let go of. I know that's been the case personally. There's been a lot of things that, whatever you can't change, manipulate, or use, or that's going to be useful to you anymore, you just kind of have to try and let go of it. So that's been difficult, to say the least. But here's the caveat. Heard today, September 12th, it was early in the morning, that we are defined. So this is the problem. We are defined both by those things we are willing to release. And I disagreed with that. Because we're defining ourselves, we are defining ourselves, or should be defining by ourselves, by what we are willing to retain and expand. So if you're going to let go of something, that's what you're letting go. Maybe that's just a clarification of what they were trying to say, is that what you're letting go is what you don't want to identify with anymore. But that's not clear. The way it came out was like, what? Why should we be defined by something that is no longer part of us? Defining yourself by things you are willing to release does not make you or make sense. That means that you have a portion of whatever it is that you say that you released is now tethered to you. So if you're going to say that I have released that, somehow you still have an attachment to it because you keep reminding yourself of, oh, I released that. I don't know. We just got to be careful with that. We need to define ourselves by what we retain and expand with those things that are no longer attached, that can freely leave. So if there are things that we need to release, I mean, you can say, I release that. You should now focus on what you want to retain and expand. So that should be making room for that. Sometimes if you're on a positive note, expanding on what you want to retain, then you'll be able to the other stuff will just kind of pop out. It'll pop out and it'll leave on its own. Don't know if that's going to make any sense to anybody. So you don't even have to necessarily call to release them. So I have to have an open hand and without regret of the things that I do. So whether we are willing to release or retain, we will always live to be the divine being of our choice. If you say you are not, then you're not seeing. I guess really it's more like, are you saying, you say you're something that you're not, then you're not seeing yourself accurate. You want to see yourself in the positive. This is what I am. I don't want to say, I am not this and I am not that. You want to say what you are, not what you're not. You're going to, yeah, you kind of get that gist, I think. You can embrace it, let it go. If it seems to return a thing that you released and it was just an illusion that it was released. Something had occurred to me about this whole retention and releasing thing, but it's now gone. That's the studies I'm doing right now. And I think that was it. And let's get over to the cards, because I kind of feel like that this is something that, hi, Selena. I'm going to switch the camera over. I kind of feel like that a lot of us have a tendency to pay attention to what we're kind of hanging on to. And actually the reverse. Sorry, I'm multitasking, and I'm a bit of discombobulated. trying to do lots of different things at the same time, lots of different areas in the house getting clean, and it's been a challenge to keep my head above water with all the other things that are going on. Yes, with all the shenanigans that are going on in the world as well. I'm going to do my best. I can't really see the screen now because I put my card table back over in a line. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. Hang on, I can probably check that. Yeah, it sounds like it's a little bit on the low side, but I can move that over. Let me know if the sound's okay, Selena, because I'm struggling with this setup thing, and yeah, I think they've been hard for everybody. Yeah, let me know if the sound's okay. I'm gonna kind of move off to the side, and I'll try and keep an eyeball on. I need another screen so I can just kind of have it over here. Thank you. I appreciate that. Stone likes it too. It's a wall hanging, actually. I'm trying to move over without knocking everything off. I kept bumping everything and everything would move. Just let me know if the sound is okay, because it looks like it might be a little on the low side, but there's not a whole lot I can do about that at this point. I think I have everything turned up. Sounds good. All right. Sounds good to me. I'm moving on, man. It's just been one nanny of a week. I have no idea which way is up. So let's find out the information that we are going to get here, which is always accepted with gratitude because it's revealed to us for our highest good. We're always getting the information directly from source, thought, and word. And these are clear communications that we are grateful for, and assisted by the energies that are benevolent to us. But let's face it, you know, how do you find benevolent is really a matter of perspective. So, oh, here's a card that doesn't want to get off the table. So we talked about orbs and stuff last night, and I think that a lot of the things that are going on that people are being told, why do we so quickly forget about the crisis actors? Who is forgetting about the crisis actors? I mean, are we really that? I mean, population of what's like Alzheimer's or something. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Look at this is like nostalgia, right? Six of Pentacles. We can't forget. We can't forget about what we've learned before, and there's like this nostalgic feel about it. You know, we should feel good about what we can remember, but right now it's a little confusing because there's the Seven of Cups, yeah. Hi everybody. I don't know who you are, but you clearly know who I am. That's funny. But yeah, the seven's in there too, so there's going to be a lot of confusion. We're going to have to kind of, you know, remember who we are. And I think if we get muddled on those things that we are having that stay attached to us, it's probably not going to be the best thing. Oh. This is the Queen of Pentacles, but she's kind of different. She's, to me, is like, in the traditional card, she has that rabbit that can be a representation of being nervous, but it's also about, this is more like about bounty. She has like this grounded abundance. And it's, I don't know if it's financial or what. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know how you knew my real first name. Cool. Oh, and I kind of, you know, here we got two sixes, Six of Pentacles and Six of Swords. So, you know, I think once we're realizing how to make a good choice, and the different cups are going to be best choice for different reasons for different people. All right, so, all right, I got messages of money. So if people are concerned about their money, I think we're being asked not to be worried about it. Don't be foolish with it. Make good decisions and sound decisions. I know that that's something that I feel pretty confident that I'm personally making them, but I'm not making hasty decisions. This is well thought out and well spoken through. So if you need advice, this is going to be handed. The messages about the money. I don't know if that's like a literal message, letter, phone call, email. Just be careful with it because there's a lot of cyber chicanery going on out there. I get stuff at work all the time. Occasionally, I get stuff through my business account at home. Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. All right. I like these cards too because they kind of give a different perspective. Not using a traditional sets of cards is really gives you a different. Your head will get pulled into the direction of a traditional card. So yeah, this is about balance, temperance, and for me, temperance is about strength building. You know, when you temper glass or metal, it aligns the molecules of whatever the material is and makes it stronger. But this has to be with good balance because if you overdo it, it becomes brittle. So let's not overdo it. So this Five of Pentacles, and I find the Five of Pentacles is very interesting because I don't get anything that's, a lot of times people say, oh, you're left out in the cold, etc. And of course, this is cold, but there is something that could possibly be orchestrated through us making sure that through the winter that we're not calling attention to our weak points. And maybe with these messages of money, that we need to attach ourselves to that now and make wise decisions because we're going to get messages now that will carry us through maybe a difficult point. Guess what we're going to have? I mean, I don't think you can get much better than that, right? With the star, um, I'm hearing the word vulnerable. So there is still an element of being vulnerable. So you use that wisdom, good judgment. Look at that. It starts all the way up here. Discernment. I can't get away from that word. Not that that's a bad thing. It's a good word. All right. Well, how much longer? We're going to have to be hearing about discernment. Although I did hear several readers where they'll talk about how the energy seemed to be consistent and sometimes for years. Maybe it's because we're in somewhat of a discovery exposure. That was me. That was not them. Um, but yeah, we're having all these things brought into our awareness, and it's going to be up to each individual to make the decision that's what's going to be appropriate for them. The issue is that when we say this is for us, it's not going to be for other people. Now, okay, a lot of us can get that done, but it's it's gonna be something where we can't be judgmental. We can't hold things against somebody just because their opinion or their motivations or whatever are different than ours. The only exception to that is when it's damaging to like humans and humanity and the survival aspects. Yeah, you can take that in a lot of different directions. I also do not see this as a negative card. This is obviously the devil, but I feel like we need to embrace this Capricorn energy because, people say they want to get rid of the ego. I say no, the ego is what keeps us safe. We do need to keep it in check. If we are not questioning ourselves, that could be a problem. If you and I are sitting there having a discussion about something and I have a different opinion than you do, keep yourself in check. I will keep myself in check. And there's going to be enlightenment on both sides of the party. It's like, when you cut somebody off, I had somebody tell me that this week. They kind of spilled the beans on what had been going on in their personal life and some of their family. And it was really horrible to hear that they were losing family members because they had a different political opinion than their family member that, they had supported for, however old they are, 20 or 30, and don't believe in anything that they do. And I guess their child had disowned them. I mean, like, what's the point in that? So don't don't be that kid, man. Hi, Jason. I definitely have to get another monitor so I can see it, because I can't. It's like it's around my computer. I can't see through my computer. Time. Wow. All right. What else is up for this? That's, I kind of feels like I'm hearing like 6 to 9 months. I think there's going to be a lot of differences going on, a lot of changes, different ways to looking at things. Again, the idea of exposure, because we got two sons there, and I kind of feel like there is some exposure, but it's not going to be how we expect it to be exposed. It's going to be something really, really unique. And that's kind of a redundant statement, but there you go. Yeah, so Ace of Air, I'm hearing thoughts and words, so it's going to be a different way of thinking. And that can be really uncomfortable. I know for me, it's been a process, a lot. Yeah, it's been a lot. Wheel of change. Here's the interesting thing about, oh, the wheel is always turning. Well, who controls the wheel? Each one of us, it's not like we're on the same wheel. We're all on a different wheel. And we take advantage of those things. We might see similar things to other people. This is kind of cool. So this is the Emperor. So a lot of these things that I think that are coming up might be a little bit of a struggle, but we have the lion is that strength bearer, wisdom holder. Solomon came into my head. All of this, wow. All right. Wish fulfillment. The 9 of cups is like that, on the precipice and ready for more. But the 10 is that fulfillment. It's not even necessarily an ending, because a lot of people say, well, the 10s are ending cards, then you got to start all over. I was like, don't know about that. I think you can continuously maintain this type of life and lifestyle. It's only if you have that idea. It's, again, it's gonna go for your belief system. All right. So what else do we have? What else do we have? I think I'm getting like I'm getting the 369 thing, and it's each one is going to be more potent than the last. And it's whatever we're going to focus on is going to be what's relevant. So if you have money concerns, money is what you're going to be seeing about having concerns over, unless you can, again, it's that retain or release. And if you focus on the things that are negative, well, I need more money. Well, you're not going to have more money because you need it. So if you're in a need state of mind, you're always going to need it. So I guess that's kind of where I'm coming from with that, but oh, speak up. All right, so I have to get the book, because I was told to get the book. If I can find the book, it's a tiny, oh, there it is, right in my hand. So this is Speak Up. It's card number 12, and 12 and 21 are pretty amazing. They've been coming up. Somebody said that they were getting those types of numbers, sequential numbers. So we need to speak up and hold dear to our own truth, and be honest and straightforward without being mean. So, and we can't hide things anymore. So this is, again, we've been talking about the things that are going to get exposed, and it might not even be out in the world. There's these things going to be exposed with us, within us, that we're gonna realize what needs to be modified, changed, whatever. But in order to do that, we need to have an outward expression of boldness. Um, it's okay to rub people a little bit the wrong way, but as long as it's done with compassion and heart. As I was trying to rush out to my last appointment, somebody stopped me and started telling me gossip and this, that, and the other, and they didn't like how something was handled. And I said, look, all you can do is stay in your lane. Do what you need to do and stay in your lane. But what that person did not do was, they felt they were wronged. They just walked away from it and didn't speak up to that person, but we're going around and talking to people about what that person had done to them. That's not cool. We shouldn't be doing that. So what is that? That tells you that we have to start dropping our masks, and we will be able to do that if we speak up with honesty and integrity. So I'm having, like, I have regular appointments now, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and then I have my regular thing on Friday. So the only times I'm gonna be doing anything for like readings outside of this or coaching is gonna be a very brief time on Mondays and then Saturdays and Sundays. This is why I've had to stop a lot of the communications on Facebook. I went and had dinner with a friend of mine and earlier this week, and they said, you do too much and you're going to burn out again, because she could just see it. Yeah, that happened a couple of times in the last, I would have to say, 8 months. So it's really important for us to be sure that we're taking good care of ourselves too, because we're not going to make good judgments through this whole process, and things are going to start slowly ramping up. So fire signs are going to play a big part of it, but it's also maybe leading us into more of a time towards, I'm seeing Aries for sure. So what's that? Like April, end of March? So that takes us pretty close to that 6 months. And I also got something with another deck of cards, something about on a really cold day in January. So something is going to happen in January and for sure now in April. All right, I talked about that person not coming forward, keeping up a mask. Well, this is about pettiness and talking behind people's backs, and that can create jealousy. And I guess it can, but for me, it's more of a lack of integrity. And maybe you have attachments with people in one of these in one of the fire signs, Leo said, or Aries, that are kind of fostering that. Yep, there's a relationship. There might be some feminine energy, and people definitely. If this is about jealousy, doing things behind people's back, and now that I'm seeing where I'm putting these, it could be somebody that you know or have had interactions with, but are not close to anymore. Wow, somebody's gonna get busted. They're gonna be peeved at us. Somebody's gonna get triggered, and I think this triggering is gonna happen further out. This is where we're gonna need that temperance and not over tempering. Other that could cause a trigger as well. Is this us or is it's them? So there are options that we are going to provide others and allow them to make their decision without entangling us. So this, okay, exposing their addictions, and they're going to do it themselves. You won't have to lift a finger, but you'll be able to offer options. Don't give people advice. Ask questions. Yeah, here's the facade. Weird behavior, hidden motives, putting on a front. So this is the facade. This is about that mask. Here's the masks. Now we have the facade. This is gonna, this I heard melt. And maybe it was from the imagery on there, but the facade is gonna melt. It's gonna melt off. This is pretty awesome. I had 2 stones on there. That's kyanite. I'll put that back in my bowl. All right, I'm gonna put it out there. If anybody wants to have a real quick reading, I have decks over on the other side there that are all ready to go. I can bring it around. I'm just a little more comfortable with seeing what's going on here. So what else? Winding up. We're gonna get some overall energy as far as the sacred geometry that we can focus on. And it was cold this morning, but it's warm now. I have all this heavy clothes on. All right, the Golden Palace. So the Golden Palace is available, I think, to all of us. I'm going to grab the book just to make sure that there's not something I'm missing, because when I look at this image, this is what we have or what we might be trying to reach, but look at the path. There isn't one. So how do we get there? How do we get to that Golden Palace? All right. So maybe this is a call to realize that we aren't abundant, but we are abundance itself. And we always have access to, maybe we are building these illusions that we don't have enough. And we are going to realize that we are already fulfilled. We are already wealthy. We are already prosperous, and we create our own good fortune because we are the good fortune. I mean, you may have heard people say, it's like, well, realize that you are the gift. And I know I didn't say this, but I really have been feeling like these storms and these things that are happening are going to be revealed, that these are also an illusion to make us think that we are not bountiful. This is the compass. Yeah, we're gonna, oh, there's a frog on there. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. I wonder if she says anything in there about the frog. I think this is like the last card in the deck. As long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. So the spirit's working in our life. We don't sometimes acknowledge that, and sometimes that can make us feel like we are temporarily lost. But when we trust ourselves, trusting ourselves is huge. If you do not trust yourself, you're going to start pushing that out on other people and say, well, I don't trust them. And it's because, and you're going to say, well, and that might be valid. But the thing is, when you say that person is not trustworthy, that's placing it on you. There's something about you that you might not trust. You might be thinking similarities with someone else that you've encountered, and you kind of make those associations. It's not to say that they're wrong, but since everybody is so different, going back to discernment and intuition, I know it's not simple. That's one of the things that I don't care about for the general readings. Is you do pick up a lot of this, that, and the other. It's not just one person, several. So this is going to probably help us, not just in the immediate times. It's going to be a development sort of a thing. It's going to be a developing, stayed sort of expansion and self-discovery. I know things look and feel different right now, and I can't really even explain that. I know I did have some work done, Reiki work done, and it's kind of split me open at the moment. So this is about authority. Frequency of authority reminds us true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. And we need to embody our own authority. And if you can take a picture of that, that'd be great, because you're going to really like having that sense of strength. Oh, sense of strength. So the frequency of earth. This is earth. Earth activates our deep connection to this physical plane by showing the beauty of all the aspects of our Great Mother and revealing the more ethereal, spiritual aspects of our nature. So what we were talking about earlier was about grounding maybe a little bit. This is a very grounded energy. It is protection. This is Capricorn, right? So that's how I feel like this is very strength. It's like difficult to get through exterior, but and it can feel kind of controlling, but this is where the earth is going to be that grounding aspect. So I'm going to come back over here without getting too crazy. Hopefully it's not going to be too loud. And I can switch the camera over now. It'll probably twitch a little bit, but if anybody has, what was that? Some of you guys talking about low riders. The low rider. What's the low rider? I mean, I think of like Harley Davidson riders. I don't know. Oh, I left the TV on. Can you see that? I'm watching another one of my murder mystery things, but it's fun. But anyway, if nobody has anything else for us today, can wrap it up. I'm going to be doing a recording with a couple of people, fingers crossed. It's going to be, I think I'm going to do the recording tomorrow with Tanya. I'm gonna force her. I'm gonna force Tanya to make a decision on what topic. She did a great. You want a career card? So, a career card. So to me, that kind of says you're questioning the career, direction of career. Possible switch or flip again, you know. Hey, Z. So this is something concerned about. He's concerned about a career. Sure. I'm going to give Selena one of my favorite decks for an answer for that. Or an extension. All right, so we got 3 cards for you for the career. Let me put that over there because I'm running out of room here. All right, so I guess don't make loans. And if there are things that are gifts, so the gifts have to be open-handed. Oh, low riders. Yes. Cars. Sorry. I get it. So you might be able to tell what direction to go because it says a friend asks only for your time, not your money. So that might be a hint for you as to what direction or path that you could have your highest outcome for. Yes, it's for E. So the best way to predict the future is to invent it. So I think that's the crux of what's going on. You have to know what you want. But people might ask you, right? So if you're in a quandary as to what, because this is what this is saying, foresight, the best way to predict the future is to invent it. You create your fate, decide what you want. I just said that. But decide what you want. And if you don't know what you want, that's why maybe there's some question as to what direction the career might go in. We can kind of, no, we do. We don't kind of, we do create that. When it echoes back to something we didn't expect, we have to think back of what we were trying, what did we really send out into the universe? Financial commitments, long-term investment, but you asked about career. So there might be a partnership. What do they say? Work when you work together. That's the magic in it. And look at that. Partnership, work together, fulfilling career. So I don't know if it's an actual partnership, but it's definitely feels like that's part of your personal expansion. Is that you're going to be reaching out, or somebody is going to be reaching out to you. But remember that other card had talked about if it's somebody and there might be some, well, gee willikers wouldn't be surprised if there was a faker out there. Okay, and Selena, what did you say? You said an area of your life that you need to focus on. I know, it's like we have almost like the spiritual ADHD right now. Work together. Yeah, and it might be keeping it simple. What do they call that? KISS, keep it simple and stupid. So it's not going to be something that's going to be complicated. So what does Selena need to know? Most important for her to focus on. You're welcome. We're gonna have fun with this one, Selena. So you're ready? I hope you're ready for this. Because you know me, I got my good deck out for you. All right. You can see the back of it. All right, you can see that. All right, so let's look at what cards Selena might be able to pick up in life. I may not be able to say the words because I might get in trouble. I should do a reading session on Rumble just using these cards. Because I got another deck. These are Oracle decks. All right, Selena, you ready? Right off the top. Okay, it looks like you're being asked to go out on a quest. Just do it. And this is where your discoveries, this is where you're going to discover all on your own. You're going to discover all on your own what you need to focus on. Can we get some clarity on that? Some clarity on your discovery process? They're not dirty. They're just blunt. They're just blunt. Oh, we got one of the good cards. Oh. So when you go on your discovery, I got to figure out how I'm going to cover that up. Right. So when you go on your discovery, you're also gonna have a group of people, but it doesn't say people. And they're gonna help you achieve success. And I feel like you have to be open to it. We need to do this like I could do like a regular thing just for the fun cards. I mean, there's no like I call it nerd. There's no nerdity. Skin. One more card for Selena because I think she deserves to have that clarity to focus. And it's hard to focus because there's so much going on. So there is a small group of people. I don't know if it's going to be like three, and you might be the fourth person. And you're going to find it easily, so don't fight it. Don't fight it. Expect it, appreciate it, embody it before you see it. Because you're going up the Brown Creek. You're going up the Brown Creek without that paddle, and it's gonna look scary, but you just need to relax into it, right? And when you relax into it, those people are going to manifest. This is all like relaxing into all of it. Not trying to control, not letting other things wig us out either, because a lot of the things that are going on, like even the text we had a little bit ago, Selena, that was like a distraction. And it's like, yeah, this is just kind of freaking weird. I get weird all the time. Well, I mean, I don't get weird. Well, maybe I do. I don't know. That's for other people to judge. I'm not here about judging. But anyway. All right, you guys. I got a scoot. If anybody needs anything, you can go onto my website and you can check out if you want to send me a message or so. You can just send it right from there. And then we'll kind of make life happen like we all do. And I hope everybody has a great, 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 great weekend.